Hey!
Hey.
We on here. We on here. We on here.
We working it.
Hey, y'all. Let's see who's going to get on here. Give everybody a few minutes to join. Oh, I know notifications are going off. We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Yep. Yes. Hello. Thank you guys for joining. Come on in. Get this word for you on today. Come get this word. Hey, you guys. Hey, y'all, come on in. Let us know who's on. Let us know that you can hear us. See this right here. Let us know if you can hear us. Let us know that you're able to hear. Give me a thumbs up. Shout out who you are. I see numbers, but I can't see who is on. So make sure that you go ahead and type that in. Type that in. I see someone. Looks like. Hey, y'all.
We learning.
Yes. Hey, DeMarla.
That's life.
We're learning how to do this Facebook Live thing. We got Facebook Live going. We have the IG going. I'm talking about y'all. We are doing this thing. Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Good evening. Hey, y'all. Okay, we have like 4 devices going at one time. So if I'm looking down, I'm here. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know you guys can hear us. Thumbs up. Yes, thank you for the hearts. Go ahead and share. Go ahead and invite. We have a word for you on this evening. Oh, thank you guys so much for joining. We got the lovely Mrs. Keisha Peeples.
Hey.
She's in the house. We're ready. You see how the thing keeps kind of trying to pause out.
He been busy.
Hey, y'all. So yes, the title of this FB Live is Answering the Call. Answering the call. So for those of you who have been rocking with Hello Ruth for a while, or if you're new to Hello Ruth, my name is Sharisa T, the CEO and founder of Hello Ruth Women's Ministry, or Hello Ruth nonprofit organization, and I am just so grateful and honored to be able to be on with you guys on this evening, this good old Friday. I'm very excited about what God is getting ready to do on tonight. I have Mrs. Keisha Peeples here. She has a word. She's going to talk to you guys about answering the call, preparing for marriage. So how did we get here? So back in December, probably a little bit before that, my team and I, we created a Google Doc file so you guys can come on and just kind of share like where you are, what you need help in, what you want us to, talk to you guys about, pour out to you. And so one of the things that came back to us was preparing for marriage. Now, this is a good topic. I'll tell y'all something. I am single. And I need the word. Y'all hear me? I need the word.
You need the word.
I mean, yeah, but you're going to hit on, I really believe that you're going to hit on some points that are going to be so beneficial for not only just me, but so many single people. Somebody's laughing. But yes, like seriously, I believe that you, just from the few instances that we have, the videos that you sent us, like, man, you were really hitting on some good points. And yes, you were hitting on some good points. So if you guys haven't been following us, y'all in for a treat. You guys are in for a treat on tonight. And so yes, she's going to be talking about answering the call, marriage, like how to prepare for your mate, for your husband. And I know I'm talking to my queens on the line, but there may be some kings who she's going to give pointers on that side of it as well, because she is married. She's been doing this for a while. I'm single. I need the word. There's a lot of other people out there who may need some things, and so I'm just excited for what God is getting ready to do. So if you have not already, go ahead and like, share, get in the comments, tell your sister girls, single friends, single guys, come on, join in, because there is a word on this evening. I'm going to stop talking so much. I see the numbers are going up. I can't start talking a lot, like seriously. Right. But I want her to go ahead and just share her heart about whatever God has laid on her heart to share with us, and just kind of help us singles, give us some pointers, like give us some tips to do or what's going on, because sometimes the weight game, it's a weight game, and it's hard. Sometimes the weight is hard. I've been single for a while. Not saying that I haven't dated. I have dated, but at the same time, it was not like I had intentions on, getting married, but the other person didn't have those same things. And so we end up parting ways. So we never did get to another level in that step in that relationship, because we were both on two, opposite ends of the spectrum. And so as a woman who is wanting marriage and waiting on marriage, and I'm open to dating, but however, the guys or the men who approach me are, they just, especially when I tell them the things that I do, but that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But when I share different things, it's like they kind of get scared, or if I tell them the purpose, if you're not on the same level, then we may need to not go any further. And so so I'm ready for the word that you're going to share. I want you to be transparent, and I want you to just speak whatever God tells you to say. Like, say it. We're ready for this word.
I've really been praying about this, because the first time Sharisa asked me about doing this, and I picked it apart. It's like, why me? And this time Sharisa didn't ask. This time Sharisa told me that God sent her. But simply because God and I had already been talking, and he had started lining some things up. So I just said, okay, I'm not going to fight it anymore. I'm just going to roll with it, because y'all see this face. This is the regular face. I'd have been to work today, and I can glam up. But the thing about it is, it's not worth anything if I don't have a life. I've got a good husband, Roy Peeples. Most people already know what my husband is. On Instagram, he's Royal Rock Photography. On Facebook, he's Roy Peeples Jr. And we were childhood sweethearts. I met my... And I ain't afraid to say it. I am now 47 years old. So I've known him a long time.
Wow.
It started with him, so it's fitting that it's ending with him. So when it comes to the way that I got prepared to get ready for marriage, it was crazy. I've been married twice, actually. The first time I got married to our middle son, because we're a blended family. And that only lasted for about 3 years, and then it was over. Okay, fine. However, but 18 years.
Wow.
Before I got married again.
Wow.
17.
Let me stop. Okay, so married once before, and then it took you 17 years. Talk about that process. What happened in those 17 years that got you to the point where you were able to get into something new with him and establish that new relationship and forming into a marriage? Talk about that, because that's 17. That's a long time, y'all. I'm complaining about the few years that I've been single. She's telling me 17. So, talk about that. Talk about that.
I dated during that time. Let me just rewind, give you a little backstory. Husband, we dated for about 3 years. Then we end up going our separate ways. And what happened with that is the fact of me going through rape. Nobody gives you a book and tells you how to handle it. And my husband, he was a teenager, so of course he wanted to have a life. But in my mind, that said to me, okay, well, we can be friends, but being that he was the only one that I would let in, that said to me, you're leaving me. So that's something I took into adulthood. Everybody behind him, when he went about his way, and I said, okay, I got to make you pay for this. Yeah. You know, I'm not happy. I'm not living my life with purpose. I don't have things going the way that I want it to go. So I have said some things. I have done some things. Yeah. I've not been the nicest person. Yeah. And when I got saved, I really had to go in for that. I really did. Because I'm like, okay, God, a lot of soul ties. I always wondered why I kept coming back to the same kind of man. It's them soul ties.
My Lord.
Now, I don't know everything. And I'm going to be honest, y'all. I'm not a Bible thumper. But you can't tell me nothing about what God can do. Yeah. And the way that God will redeem your life. Because I done been out there. Yes, I'm a queen. I'm a pageant queen. I'm a truck driver. I'm not perfect. Yeah. But the thing about it is, every single morning, I got a man that loves me.
Yes, Lord.
As messed up as I am, he still loves me. The history that we have, we've known each other all that time. We've got a blended family. I have 2 sons. He has 2 daughters and a son. We've got 5 children together. And plus I got 5 because I done been on grandma duty today. But this is a man that has loved me past my pain. Yeah. All the things that I dealt with, he's held me and let me cry. Even when I have talked to him, and honest. Because there are some times y'all need to understand. Boaz ain't gonna like you. And you ain't gonna like Boaz.
Woo! Woo! You may need to say that again.
Boaz is not gonna like you. All of it.
Woo!
And you're not gonna like Boaz. But you love each other. Ooh. So when you love each other, that's your common ground that you work off of and do everything else with. And love me past my pain. Yeah. Because I was broken. Yeah. I was all to pieces. And the things that he used to say was like, okay, I got to get myself together before I get married. It's like, no, you never get yourself together.
You know what? Let me stop, because that's sometimes how us as women, we feel like we need to be at this particular place in life, or we need to be in this particular range in life before we can find that ideal mate. I mean, I'm glad that you shared that. Like, I thought, okay, no, it's not going to happen right now. I don't have everything together. And it's like, you don't have to have everything together for a guy to love you, or a guy. He's going to love your flaws and all. He's going to embrace you. He's going to be that person who's going to be that supporter. I just believe that. And I believe that, together, as a couple, as me and my Boaz get together, we're going to grow together. We're going to groom each other. We're going to, still learning. We're going to still learn about each other, but at the same time, I don't have to have it all together, as certain, people say.
You come into a relationship like Swiss cheese. You a solid block of cheese, but you got a whole lot of holes in you. That thing, as you're filling the holes that he has in him, and he's filling the holes that you have in you. But the thing about it is, and I tell anybody, you have to respect the differences amongst people to get along with people. Yeah. 2 adults who are grown. You've been raised different. You have different ideas. You have different thoughts about raising children, the whole 9 yards. The hard conversations, you need to have that before you even think about getting married. My husband talked to me so much, and there's a lot of things that he's taught me, especially, I got a praying man. Now, if you want to talk about something sexy, and we're just being honest, because I got a righteous right. Something sexy is a man that will cover you. A man that it don't matter how mad he at you, he's still gonna get in there and he gonna go to God for you.
Yes, Lord.
A husband
Yes, Lord.
does, and a wife has to do that for a husband. But the thing about it is, we're gonna be honest. Nowadays, mama in the club, and then mama becomes grandma and she in the club.
My Jesus.
So you got folks that ain't raising children. A lot of times us women, we can only put out what we've been taught.
Yeah.
So for me, I sat around those oldest that were 10 and 15 plus years, because I'm going to hit some folk in the head tonight. Because when it comes to marriage and just being transparent, because I'm doing a lot of that, I love my mama. But my mama can't tell me nothing about. My mama was married before. She didn't stay married as long. I think no more than 3-5 years, something like that. There's only so much she could tell me. So my mom and I, we have conversations about marriage, but there's a cutoff. There's a, okay, but now I got to go to God. Because, okay, now I need more help than this. See, we get married and we think it's supposed to be a bed of roses, but when that pretty dress go back in the closet or hung up to whatever you do with it, and that tux go back to them folks, that's when the work begins. You don't just walk into a marriage knowing how to do stuff. You gotta learning my husband. I started talking to my husband. Different things I needed to do, decisions I needed to make. I talked to my husband before he was my husband. Conversation about the way that we would do things, the way that we saw ourselves, the direction we saw ourselves going in. We had the hard conversations where it was good morning, good night, and dip. It's been some silence between us, because the best thing we can do when you have a disagreement with your mate, do not get in your car and go nowhere.
My Lord.
Get in separate parts of the house. Get in separate. But as soon as you split that door, don't you know the enemy know what you like?
Man,
the enemy know how you want it to walk. How to smell. You want tall, dark, and handsome, baby. The enemy gonna craft you the prettiest piece of dark and handsome, and he gonna stroll right up to you.
My.
Hey boo, what's your name?
My.
What's happening?
Temptation.
Yeah, and the enemy will put it right there in your face to derail you. So just because a joker come to you and this joker is talking good, he's sounding good, and don't let them red flags go. Woo! Let them red flags do what they supposed to do. We got built-in intuition.
Yeah.
Use it. Don't make no excuses. And same thing for these fellas. If she ain't hitting on nothing, if she ain't bringing nothing to the table, y'all need to have a conversation.
Let's stop, because you hit something. You said red. How many of us, just be transparent, like for me, have seen the red flags but say, oh, you know, he gonna get it together. He just going through it right now. It's gonna, man, them red flags are there for a reason. Like, they're there for a reason. So it's like we want to be in a relationship so bad that we will accept and just take any and everything just to,
mama used to say, you just want to say you got to pay a
You just
bridges.
want to say you got a man, so you going to take him not calling you back. You going to take him cheating 4 and 5 times. Like, when are you going to say enough is enough? You're worth more than that. I mean, I can just talk about myself. Like, literally, I was in a relationship, and let me go back. Rewind. A situationship. Okay? Read all in between that. A situationship for like 5. I loved that man, but at the same time, and I saw so much potential in him, and I knew he had some baggage, and I was trying to help him do that, and I had to learn. It's it's not my job to.
But if you got two hurt people
can't. Ooh, come on, sis.
You can't fix it.
Woo.
Because somebody is not going. When you hurt, you do not want to hear it.
My Lord.
And y'all, I ain't no holy roller by any means. I promise you I'm not. I'm not.
Jesus.
But when you hurt, you don't want to hear sis pray about it.
Ooh.
When you got all kind of hell breaking loose in your house, you don't want to hear sis pray about it. That's where you need to be. That's what you need to do. But you don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, no. Okay, I need God to fix it, and I need God to fix it like right now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when God goes in and does what He need to do, you got.
Yes.
And a lot of us ain't willing to change.
Yes.
We're like, okay, yeah, you can talk about me, you can deal with me, but leave my demons alone. Don't bother dogs' life.
My.
But we can't do that, because if you're going to be married, you got to be willing to take the good with the bad.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like I say, and sometimes you ain't gonna like Boaz, but you love each other.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of, there's my Boaz.
Hello.
Hey, honey. So Daddy just walked in, but we're doing our thing. Eventually, we're going to have it where we got our men, our women. We're gonna start doing some things.
Yes.
Where we can have some conversations, some
Yes.
open, honest conversations,
Real
where we
and
can get
raw.
it from
Yes.
different sides, different perspectives. Cause see, for me, some women, I'm candid. I'm sorry. Being that I'm a truck driver, I got an edge. I see death and destruction on the daily. So life is entirely too short for petty Patricia, petty Paula, petty Patrick, all of that. Life too short for all of that. You better live your life and stop with the foolishness. So when it comes to having a mate, when you get mad at them, don't be spiteful. Because that mate could leave home and not make it back.
Yeah.
I watch so many people leave home and not make it back. I don't watch people take their last breath. I don't wonder were they married? Were they upset with each other? I hope that they were saved, but I really hope that they had good relationships with whoever they were dealing with before their life came to an end. So if you look at it like that every day, it will push you. You're going to have some moments you're going to fall off. I ain't going to say, nah, I'm not perfect. Again, I fall off. I have some moments where I'm not right. I done came out my mouth real crazy at my husband. He could have been gone. But the thing about it, this dude was so good with it. When I apologized, he said, I know, just like that. He just held out his arms. And I walked into his arms and I just cried. Because at that point, I was more ashamed how I talked to him, the way I dealt with him. It's like, this is supposed to be the man I love, but we done fell out, we done had our argument, and I'm gonna be right. You gonna hear me. Sometimes, ladies,
Shush up.
you gotta shut it up.
Gotta hush.
Sometimes you just gotta shut it up.
Wow.
Because we want to be heard, but we have our way of doing things. And sometimes some of this stuff is even a subliminal kind of thing. You can read body language. If that man loves you, or they hit that door, you ought to be done already know. You know what kind of day they've had already. You know how they feel already. At that point, it's like, okay, babe, are you hungry? Let me get you something to eat. Let me get you squared away. With my husband will come in and sit down in his chair, put his feet up on the bed. I make sure my husband has a chair. My husband got 2 chairs down. When this one give out and break, he can go right downstairs and get him another one. Why? Because this is sanctuary.
Yeah.
And I make it a point that this is sanctuary. We're supposed to help when it comes to a husband. You cannot go out on a job in a mansion where you have to manage and micromanage, and then come home and want to manage your man.
Jesus.
That's a same thing with the fellas. You can't go out there doing whatever you do, then come home and you want to boss her all around or have her almost like she a servant to you. I always said, and I told my husband from the very beginning, I told him I believe that if I love you and I love you right, you give me the world. And it's not a lot I'm lacking for. That brother's wanted to give me way more than I even wanted for myself. I'm simple.
Wow.
I'm very, very simple.
Wow.
But ladies, sometimes you just got to be quiet.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to sit back. My thing in 2020, I'm going to protect my peace at all costs.
That's good.
And it does not matter who I'm dealing with.
That's good.
If I got to step back and just be quiet, or I got to be like, you know what? No disrespect, but we need to stop it right here. Cool off, and then come back. That's the rule of thumb in this house. That's what we do. My husband honors me in that way. I honor him in that way. We don't argue. Arguing is done. We did that already. But we got to a point where we're like, you know what? You want to hear me, I want to hear you. Okay, one of us got to shut up.
Yeah. Gotta be quiet and listen.
Her done learn how to shut her mouth.
That's good.
Because you can't fix it. And then you can't walk around being mad. You can't walk around looking crazy. Yeah, you're going to have your moments here and there, but something work home. Or so absorbed with other stuff that's going on in other folks' houses. Don't you know your single girlfriends mess around and talk you out your house?
Woo.
No offense.
Ooh.
I love my boo. She know she he love her. He love her. We good. But
wow,
you have to watch having single friends because they're still partying. They're still in the club. They looking for somebody. You married.
Yeah.
My husband and I have a rule. Okay, if I'm out past midnight or however, hey babe, look, okay, or whatever the case may be, well, I'm going to be in by X amount of time. Okay, at that point he looking for me. But my husband is the kind, he ain't sleeping till that garage door come up. Or if he doze off the check in a certain amount of time, hey, you okay? Or he'll text me, hey, are you okay? You know, what's going on? You good? I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm good. And I go on about my business. That's why, I mean, in the beginning, y'all be able to see him again and cover you. A man that's going to pray for you when he's mad, and you vice versa. Just because you upset and you're mad don't mean you don't love each other. You have to go in and do the things that need to be done to learn to fix it. Instead of running away from the issues. Deal with the issues. Because you got your issues and he has his.
Yeah.
But again, you got to respect the differences amongst people to get along. You do that, and once you master that in your own mind, you can do anything. Perception is 1,000% of your day. Not 100%. I say 1,000. Because I'm going in. And I'm to the point where now I'm looking for a silver lining in every single dark cloud. Because you never know where your blessings going to come from. And if you go out there and you start talking out your mouth, putting your mouth on folk, acting crazy and all that, you don't know who know who. You don't know who's talking. And once you say it, you can't take it back.
Yeah.
And you have to look at that the same way in a relationship. Don't say something out your mouth that you're going to regret. Because that person, as my husband said, you can't unhear it. It's in there now. You said this to me. And if you said it out your mouth, then it must be in your heart. So you have to be careful with that. And then you have to move and shift your mindset to a point of empathizing. Because at that point, okay, I said this. How would I feel if it... That's how you have to look at being married. Because like I said, I've known this dude since I was 12. I am 47 years old now. Since I was 12.
Wow.
So who more fitting to share my life with? God saw fit to have us go apart. We lived. He's been married. I've been married. And oh baby, let me... My husband's ex-wife and I are friends. That part.
Y'all hear that?
That part. So
wow.
When Jada Pinkett Smith went in and embraced Sherry, I can't remember her last name, but Will Smith's ex-wife, baby, I was like, never in a million years. They have lost their mind. Ain't nowhere in the world. Ain't no woman finna roll up and la 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 la. My husband looked me square in my face. This was before we got married. And this when we was talking about getting married. He said, look, when you want, I have children, and it's a package deal.
Yeah. That's
You got
good.
to take all of this, or you get none. He demanded, he didn't ask, that she and I figure it out for the good of these children. And that's a position that more men need to take when dealing with baby mama over here, baby mama over there.
Wow.
There are some baby mothers, but baby mama, that thing. That one that want to key up your car and cut your tires and act a donkey because you don't want to be with her. But who want to do that? You got a woman that ain't bringing nothing to the table. Who wants? You got to respect yourself better in order for this man to respect you. Because a man already know if he want to marry you or not.
Woo!
That comes really, really quick.
Ooh, let me stop you.
The rest of it is practice.
Let me stop you right here. Because that goes with the question that someone, if you're hearing from God when you're choosing your mate, and you said that the man will know. Speak on that. How do you know when you're hearing from God when choosing your mate?
Again, red flags. Now, don't get me wrong. There are going to be some things that you, because again, there's faults, there's flaws, the way you were raised, the way that you've been living your life. You got to mesh all of that together. So you have to take those things into account. I do that drive my husband crazy. There's certain things he do that drive me crazy. My husband leave the toilet seat up. Boom. Yes, that do happen. The thing about it is, he's gotten to a point where he's more considerate. He listens to me. I listen to him. When you're dealing with a man or a woman, they don't listen to you. They don't support you.
Jesus.
They quick to discount things that you say. They quicker to listen to folk out there than to listen to you. You gotta pay attention to that. You cannot change somebody that's grown. If your stuff and they stuff don't work, then you need to talk about it. And if you can't find common ground in order to pull this thing together and be able to look past their faults and they look past your faults and say, okay, well, how are we going to come to a compromise on this? Okay, I blue. Okay, can we just do like, okay, red this day and then blue that day? You got to have conversation. Communication is absolute key no matter what you do, period. First got married, I wasn't a good communicator. My husband is a quiet man. But when you take him off, you better move. Yeah, I move. And you have to be careful because when you come out of your mouth, you can break somebody's spirit.
Yeah.
And when you break somebody's spirit, you got a problem. The things that you said wrong, the things that you did wrong. And my mama and them raised us, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Yes sir, no sir. Please and thank you. And I'm sorry. But you can only say I'm sorry for so much before it becomes null and void.
Yeah.
Relationship, that's in a marriage. That's in a relationship you take into a marriage. That's, you got to have that. If you got somebody that don't respect you, you got a problem.
Yeah.
Those are some of the things that you really need to be and being mindful of when it comes to choosing a mate. You can't discount those red flags. They are there for a reason. But it's going to be things that are not going to be perfect.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to about what we talked about earlier about knowing your worth. When you know what you're worth and what you like and don't like, be transparent about it from the beginning. If you see something you don't like or something that's bothering you, go ahead and put it out there. And if they can either, follow suit, but you got to have a certain standard. I mean, you got to be able to say, okay, I'm not going to accept this, or this makes me feel this. If you're doing this, this is how I feel about those.
You got to be honest.
And one of the things God had dealt with me with in my singleness is vulnerability, because I allowed someone to do certain things without voicing how I felt, and I would hold it in. And then I'm the kind of person, I still kind of deal with that today. And when it gets so much, or when I lash out, you get what I'm saying? Like my character starts to change. And it's because me not honoring my voice and not speaking my truth and knowing, okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. And it's like now when I approach dating, it's like, okay, if we're not on the same page, let's just go, maybe we just should be friends. But trying to date and trying to, no, I don't like mixed signals. And that's a strong word, but I dislike mixed signals. But it's just putting it out there. Yeah, it's just putting it out there. Like, okay, if you're not trying to find want a girl or whatever, okay, cool, we can be friends. But I'm not gonna keep doing all these dates and going out with you and calling you and talking to you every night, and you're not trying to pursue me. No, I don't want all these mixed signals. I'll just cut you off.
Proverbs 18:22. He come on, find it for wife. Find of a good thing.
Teach on it.
And obtain favor from the Lord.
Teach on it. He who finds a wife. So that means...
That don't mean you go out here pursuing. That don't mean that you propose.
Yes.
He's supposed to find you.
Yeah. The wife. You're already walking in that calling of a wife. Henceforth, our message or our subject tonight, answering the call. You got to understand that God has already called you to be that. He's already called you to be the wife. Proverbs 31. You are that woman, but you got to know it. You got to have doing the things that he wants you to do so that you can be found. Oh, let's go to Ruth. Ruth was in the field working. She was working to feed her family. Had something to eat.
Wasn't even looking for it.
She wasn't looking for it. That's the key. We're sometimes for the mate instead of just focusing on what God has given us to do and let him find us.
Because I wasn't looking for my husband. I thought about him. He thought of, once we began to have conversation, he thought about me. I thought about him. We like some of the same songs. We love Anita. I surprised him with her in concert. We walking into the building. And it has not dawned on him that we're going to see Anita Baker. We get inside and the music is playing. They playing music in the background and all that. It still ain't dawned on him until they start playing her music and she hit the stage. He was like, wow. His first concert. So we're still experiencing first. Yeah. We still have a lot of conversation about the children, places we want to go. This is stuff that's still on the table. It's still on our plate. But you got to keep at it. Once you get married, you can't stop. You still got to date. Yeah. You still got to go out. My husband just asked me a couple of days ago, okay, it's about time for us to go date, do something. We got to get out. We got to go somewhere. We need to do something. Yeah. Once upon a time, he liked to be at home. My husband's a homebody. I'm outgoing. For folks who don't really know, I'm a truck driver. I'm a pageant queen. I'm a model. I am a published author.
Yes.
I got a whole lot of hats. But the thing about it, I could do none of that without God's blessing and anointing. And I got a good husband. I got a man that supports every drop of that. I got a man that will get in here and pray with me on all of that. And his thing is, okay, if he get in there and he fast, when I tell you, baby, the whole world just starts shifting. That's a whole nother live by itself for me to tell y'all. 1 week and I left here and I went to Charlotte. It was unbelievable how everything started shifting and going. Because when you got a man that'll get in there and pray again, this thing ever.
The anointing.
When a man can put that word on you and cover you and keep you. And then you do the same for them. When your heart is towards somebody, it's not a chore. It's something you want to do. It'll just spill over and come out of you without even trying. But you gotta be willing to talk. You gotta be willing to have those hard moments. You gotta be willing to butt head like two rams. Sometimes lock up. But do not leave out that door. Man knows what you like. The enemy knows what's in the back of your head. The enemy knows how you wanted to walk, talk, smell, you name it. And as soon as you dart out that door, hey, how you doing? Why you sitting? Just like Jose St. Jacques on the beach. No offense, Jose, if you on here, you know you my dog. But here, what's a beautiful girl like you doing on the beach all by yourself? If you ain't never seen Eddie Murphy do that little bit that he do, yeah, dude will come rolling up on you. Next thing you know, you got somebody that done sabotage what you really have worked hard for. But because you're mad, you ready to throw it ain't cool. You can't do that. Now, there gonna be some times, yeah, folks gonna catch your eye.
Yeah.
Cause it's a certain type of man that I like, but hey, I like tall, dark, and handsome. Child, my husband is not tall. My husband is not dark. Yes, he is handsome.
My God, today.
But he is not tall and dark.
Getting me all the way together.
God didn't give me what I wanted.
Jesus.
But God gave me what I needed. That could reach back and help me heal the hurt.
Yeah.
Heal the pain. Heal all the things that I have been through. This man done sat here and listened. This man I done woke up in the middle of the night because I done dreamed about the attack, and I'm swinging on my husband. And he grabbed me by my arm, swung me around, and he just held me. After that, I just cried until my eyes were bloodshot red. But he did that for me. And that's sometimes, ladies, what we have to do for our men. We have to love our men past their pain.
Yeah.
Because society tells them they're not supposed to feel. They're not supposed to be out here with this heart. Good guys always finish last. No. The good guys are winning. But they're winning without you if you decide you want to be petty. You want to cut up. You want to act a fool. Okay, now you become symptomatic baby number 1. Or whatever, baby mama number 2, number 3, number 4, whatever. That little song that's out there talking about my man is her man and some of the... I wish a man... I'm a lady. But baby, one thing I tell them, I'm not finna let Nan have this one. I don't worry. I ain't finna let Nan have this one. But one thing about it, he coming home. And we gonna deal with it. We gonna work it out. We gonna handle it.
Yeah.
There were times that me and my husband done battled so hard, he didn't even ask me, did you step out? And I had to ask him, okay, you know, I know things got crazy, okay, did you step out? He was like, no. I'm thankful. When me and my husband done battled before, I was the one that put divorce on the table.
Wow.
In my feelings. That's because I was upset. I was mad. I felt like he wasn't listening. My husband is the kind, he would do everything he can to try. Even if he mess it up, he will try. Get you a man that's going to try.
Yeah.
Get you a man that's willing. Fellas that may be on here, get you a woman that's going to try. Get you a woman that's willing. Don't get you nobody that be like a weight around your neck. You don't need nobody dragging you down.
Ooh, my Lord.
You need somebody that wants to build with you, not live off of you.
Yes, God.
But
Jesus.
One of you got bad money management, stay broke all the time. Y'all can't get nowhere like that. I know I had a friend back in the day. He married. He came to me. He was like, "Look, sis," he said, I admire what you and your husband have. He said, so, you know, give me things from a woman's perspective. And I laid it out for him. I said, okay, this lady you talking about, you know, what kind of lady is she? He started to run things down. Her own money. But she was micromanaging him. And then she had her thing. You know how we done, ladies. We'll buy stuff and take stuff, put stuff up, hide stuff. You know, lie. My husband know. My husband know when something new show up. Do better, y'all. Don't judge me. I'm trying to do better. But the thing about it is, this woman was spending, she wrecking the household. This man was giving her $1,000 every week. This wasn't no $1,000 a month. This was $1,000 every week that he was giving her. And she was blowing through it.
One job.
But he sat right there. But he was making excuses for her. He was justifying things that she did. He was dancing around it. And then he got mad at me when I told him the truth. I'm like, dude, look, you talking about marrying her. But if she got money talking to you like she crazy because she makes more money. She made more money than him. But he was giving her $1,000 every week. That's $4,000 a month.
Wow.
That he was giving her. And she blowing it how she want to blow it.
Wow.
He didn't question nothing. Even when they got married, she was the same way. But for whatever reason, he really thought she was going to change when they got married. Why do we think that we can change somebody that's... Teresa said earlier, it's not your job to raise a man. And y'all fellas, it's not your job to raise that woman. You help grow them spiritually. You help nurture them. You help them when it comes to decisions that they all need to make together. You do all of that. But when it comes to raising,
Not mama.
no, you're not their mom. You're not their dad. But a person, what they've learned or what they've been given. They talk about how diabetes and the heart problems and all of that, how this stuff is hereditary. This stuff ain't hereditary. This is the stuff you learn. You learn this stuff. This is learned behavior. But you have to be willing to undo behavior. You have to deprogram so that you can reprogram your program. Then you good. But you got to be willing to do it, and you got to be willing to listen.
Yeah.
And that's where we go wrong at. Because when we get in our, myself included, we don't want to listen. And we don't want nobody talking about, girl, just pray about it. You look like, okay. Because we don't want to hear that. We want some answers, and we want them right now.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, sometimes it's that he wants to give you that mate. Sometimes he's gonna try you. He's not gonna just give you this person to tear up. Do it like that. It just don't work like that. So those are the things that you have to be mindful of. You have to be mindful of the way that you talk to your person, the way you deal with them. You have to really, really be open to change. Like I said, you like Swiss cheese. Holes running all through. They feel things in you. You feel things in them. But when people talk about how somebody completes them, that can be experienced. I wish that every woman in the world can experience true, real love. I'm talking about straight. Ain't nothing like it. Nothing like it. When you got it, you know it. Now, I'm not one talking crazy, but I know what I have, and I know I got a good husband. I ain't just got a man on paper. I ain't just got a pair of breeches in the house. I got a good husband because he's loved me through a whole lot of things, and I've done the same thing from him. We've decided we just ain't gonna do it. We've been married 10 years now. First, we end up looking crazy at each other. But we had to fix it again. Sometimes Boaz ain't gonna like you. And sometimes you ain't gonna like Boaz. But you love each other. Gonna keep you grounded. That love is gonna be what brings you back. My husband taught me to pray about a lot of things when it came to marriage. But we all hearts. No matter what. We want to hear each other's hearts. It doesn't matter what you say. Well, yes, it does matter what you say out your mouth, but we pray to hear each other's hearts, because that's going to be in your body. That's going to be them times when you hit the door. They already know. They ain't got to know exactly what's going on, but they got a general idea, and they just do what they got to do to fix it. That's the kind of person that you want in your life. That's the kind of person you want to let into your life and be able to spend the rest of your life with. But if you're getting those red flags, do not ignore them, because they're there for a reason. God built them red flags of us. Stop justifying the foolishness. and the crazy mess that folk do.
My Lord.
Because
My Lord.
Issues. Every last one of us. Because we ain't perfect. We ain't right. But God.
But God.
That's the only thing that covers us. God loves us so much. He wants us to be happy. He wants us to have somebody. Everything God did was done at least in twos. You had your male and your female. Because you meant to have family. You meant to go on and procreate. You meant to give your mama them grandbabies and all of that. Yeah. Now, there are some people that choose not to. And that's okay. But being by yourself, sometimes that'll make you better. Get in and pray. Because again, like we said, starting earlier, soul ties will stop you from living. I didn't learn about soul ties until I was in my 30s. And when I had somebody break soul ties down to me and I began to read and study and find out what soul ties was all about, that really made me understand why I kept coming right back to the same kind of man. Every time I turn around, the same kind of man. And I couldn't understand to save my natural life why that was happening. And once I knew that, and I began to know what soul ties, I started praying that thing down. Once I started praying it down, then things began to change. When I decided I started taking those steps so that I could become a wife. I began to read. I got in there and Google about marriage. I got it in the Bible app and start pulling up all these different verses and reading. And ladies, when you get married, y'all read Ephesians, top, bottom, side to side. Because when you get married, the word talks about how it is yours. When it's time to come together, it's time to come together. You cannot deprive that man and think that that's going to be all right. You might hurt that man, but God sees it. God knows what you're doing. Don't think you're going to hold us here, because ain't no kids on here. But if that man wants his wife, he wants to love you, he wants to be, figure out how you gonna make it happen. Now, I'm not saying you gotta be a doormat for it, or if he coming in and acting like a horn dog, you just got to be, you just got to, you got to just keep falling out. Cause I mean, I'm just being for real. Your body can only take so much. Then you got to take a break, and then you go back. When you got a righteous right, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But you can't continuously deny. And then if things go wrong, you want to see it talking about, oh, woe is me, what he did to me, now you're the victim. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, sir. No cat. No dog. That dog won't hunt, as them truckers say out. Because people tell me, well, I didn't make him. Because I just had to deal with a chick. I love her to life. But I know some of the things that she was doing. And she was straight up denying it. And she was proud about it. Oh, him, none. He gonna have to give me this. And he gonna have to give me that. I was like, okay. Wow. I was like, you do know what one won't do, another sure will. And there's some thirsty folk out here. No. There's more than home to take care of, because he got a baby on the outside. That part. He has a baby on the outside. So now she's having to deal with that. Either she gonna do like the old school women did. They dealt with it. Them babies came home. They raised all them children together. Ooh, baby, them was some women back then. Shown up. But they raised families. They did what they had to do. Husband might have been out there gambling stuff away, but he did what he had to do. Business. We got to step back in and be them kind of women. We got to be Titus 2 kind of women. Start reaching back for these young girls.
Yeah.
Help them understand that your worth thing, it's a beautiful thing, and you got to cover that. You can't let a joker be slithering up next to you. and take all that away from you, because once he drains you dry, you got nothing.
Jesus.
Because you hurt. But I see this live here is getting ready to come to an end. I don't know about the rest of them, but you guys, this ain't over. We're going to talk plenty about that matter. Looking for some events. It's coming. It's coming. There will be some events. Yeah. And there are going to be some times where we might have to sit down with husbands and wives and do some round table type of stuff, have some serious conversations, getting perspectives, so that folks can really ask questions. I ask for people to put questions out there, and I understand that sometimes people don't want to do that, but more conversations, and there will be way more conversations, so that we can get understanding, so we can know that we're not by ourselves. We all got issues. We all got something going on. And in trying to get prepared to be a wife or be a husband, it's not easy. Yeah. So we will definitely be talking. I think our hour is about to come to an end. Yeah. So you guys, I pray you have gotten something out of this. I really do. We're going to continue to have more conversations. This is not it. This is just the beginning. He is at marriage. Yeah. He's at the covenant. He is at it hard, because if he can pull the man out of it and get you to disrespect him and cut up and act up, then he doing that thing, and it is the trickle down effect, and we can't let that happen. If we really want to have strong men out here, women is fly. You got to set your standard, live by your standard, demand that your standard be met, or that joker can kick rock. That's not your Boaz. Because if that man wants you, he going to make some stuff happen. And they say he going to make some stuff shake, baby. He going to move heaven and earth to get in your space, in your face. He's going to be there. And whatever whatever the love language is, let them live in it. Learn how to adjust. My husband's love language is he's touchy. He's touchy-feel. He's crazy when we were teenagers. But I had an older lady, we got to talking, and she told me, she said, baby, if your husband is let him. Because there are so many women out here wish their husbands would touch, feel, caress, hug, just lean on. Every time my husband come by me, he got to touch me some kind of way. Now that I know that that's his love language, be like, okay. But when he gets mad, he don't touch me. He'll brush past me. Wow. And I be like, okay, God, I got to fix that. I got to fix that. Like, I got to fix that, because, And that's the biggest thing I miss. When he gets quiet, he misses me, I miss him. That's it. So remember, y'all, when that pretty white dress comes off, and you do whatever you do with that tux, and the lights go down, and it's all over, it's you and him left, that's when the work begins. Yeah,
that's good. Man, I know you all have been blessed, because I'm sitting over here like, yes, I mean, this was some good stuff. I see the comments. Hey, everybody who's on, thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for just sharing, coming in, giving us the likes, the hearts, and all of that. We just thank God for allowing Keisha to come and bless us on this evening and be transparent and just share her so many nuggets, so many moving pieces in this message on tonight. And yes, she is so right. A part 2 is coming soon, so you guys stay connected. Make sure you're part of our Facebook page. Make sure that you are part of our email list. Check out our events. We have some great and amazing things going on with some great and amazing people, and I'm just excited, man. I'm excited, and I want to say thank you guys. Just letting God use you the way that He wanted to use you. It wasn't a plan. It wasn't any kind of flow. We just, whatever it is. Look, I know you got your notes.
I wrote my stuff.
Let me tell y'all something about notes. you can write them all day, but when the Holy Spirit want to take over and lead you in a direction, you just got to flow. You can have that piece of paper sitting. Again, yeah, basically. Yes, sis. I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for joining in on tonight. We'll see you back very, very soon, very, very soon with some other events and information in part 2 of this answering the call. And we're going to see if we can get hubby to come in.
Yes.
Or
that's going to be something.
We may have a round table with couples.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. I'm ready. And gentlemen, queens, and kings, our time is over for this evening. Until next time, you guys have a great and awesome weekend. Have a great and awesome evening. And I love you all.